Good morning, SkyZone fam. My name is Don Vogue, and I'm coming to you today with a SkyZone Instapply process guide follow-up. What I want to do today is just walk you through how a number of parks are actually using a very basic follow-up process to increase party sales. I'm going to give you a little background on why we created this process. First and foremost, when people are calling into your parks and having a wonderful conversation about booking a party, if they don't book that party on that call, what happens? Well, most of the parks that we work with will actually pick up the phone and outbound call them back a day or two later. But if you're like me and most Americans, you're going to get a call on your cell phone. It's going to be from a random number, and you're going to really think, do I want to pick this up? 9 times out of 10, you're not going to do it. And that's where text comes in. So by calling someone back who had called you and had a great conversation about booking a party, you might get them on the phone. But if you don't, that's going straight to voicemail and they're not picking it up. However, 98% of all text messages in America are opened within 3 minutes of receipt, regardless of the sender. Why? Well, because they're non-threatening. I can get a random text message from a number that I don't recognize on my phone, and I'll open it because I don't immediately have to talk to someone that I don't want to. So what we find is that when someone starts a conversation via text message with your park regarding a party booking or other revenue generating event, and that thread goes dead, the parks that follow up with that same guest a day or two later with a simple text message that says, "Hey Don, had that great conversation with you via text about booking a party for your son. Would love to make it happen. Please let us know if you're interested." Simple responses via text message like that are opened much, much higher, and honestly are getting incredible responses from the parks that are engaging in the process. So the beginning of that process is really simple. What you're going to do is you're going to engage the invisible thread. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the invisible thread, it's that right-hand column of your user interface, which I'll show you right here. That allows you to make simple inputs regarding a potential party booking. The inputs that we want you to start with are really simple. In fact, they're incredibly simple. Anytime someone texts in about a party, we want you to write party inquiry. That's it. Super easy. So all you need to do is go down to the little box here and just type party inquiry and hit send after you've responded to the customer. Once that's done, that allows us to filter all conversations that have that simple input, party inquiry, in the invisible thread into a digestible way for you and your team members to follow up with a guest. So I'm taking this example from one of our current parks, SkyZone Minneapolis, and their team to show you how effective this can be. So on June 5th of this year, we had a great inbound that says, can we do a 15-child party from 5:30 to 7:30 on 6/22? The response from Amari at the SkyZone Minneapolis team was, "Hey there, we'd love to host you for a party. Please be aware we can't discuss availability as by text as it's always changing. Would you like an agent to give you a call?" Right? Before that response came in, Amari jumped in and wrote party inquiry, which really helped the process. Call was made, and Amari then made another comment in the invisible thread that said, "Called Chad, had discussed with his wife, giving him a call back." 4 days later, right, because of the fact that Amari had placed a party inquiry in this invisible thread, Taylor from SkyZone Minneapolis followed up with a quick outbound text message to Chad asking him, "Hey there, Chad, Taylor from SkyZone here. Just reaching out to see if you were ever able to get your event booked or if you're still interested in hosting it here." Really simple. And then from that point, what happened? He booked his party. So she marks booked as a reference in this invisible thread so that we can then track how many parties were booked via this process. And we do that entirely via an external link called Periscope. So I'm going to show you what that link looks like here. Periscope dashboards we create for each SkyZone park upon request. And what they do is they give you a really comprehensive snapshot into the total number of messages that you guys are getting, party inquiries, the number of them, and how many parties are being booked. You can date range this by any 60, 30 days, custom, whatever you'd like to make it simple and digestible. But what we do here is we say, all right, 85 people sent in inquiries about party bookings in this period of time. And now what we do is we say how many other events are in the same category. And if they were booked and written as booked in the user interface, they'll register as parties being booked via this outbound follow-up text process. In order to do that, it's really simple. We go down to this little tab here that says party inquiries for follow-up. This has an entire comprehensive list of everyone who texted in regarding a party inquiry. Really, really simple to review. You can simply scroll up and down if you don't have that many inquiries, or you can export this to a CSV or Excel file, which I'll show you what it looks like here. Real simple. Which park did it go to? What's the phone number associated with it? And what were they asking about? And then your team can simply take the number associated with the party inquiry, copy it, go back into the user interface. Let me see here. And simply pop into this little customer section by clicking on this little icon for search, pop in the message, and there it is, right? So if I wanted to follow up with this user, despite the fact that this happened a while back, I'd simply pop in this number, scroll down to the message column, type in my message, and hit send. That's as simple as it gets to follow up with a potential guest. So this process is incredibly easy to train, but it's incredibly effective. Training your agents on how to make some very basic 2 inputs, in fact, party inquiry whenever there's a party inquiry, and party booked if that party was booked via text, are ways in which you can simply increase the number of parties that are being booked at your location, and more importantly, track what that total is over time to give it some type of ROI. I'm more than happy to work with any of your teams to get really into the nuance or the cadence of how people are following up, or into some other best practices that other parks are using. So please feel free to reach out to me in any capacity. I'm more than happy to train and work you through it. What we found roundly, and I think this is a good example, is once parks actually engage this process consistently, they're coming up with a really nice little increase in party bookings entirely via this text follow-up process. So with that said, thanks so much for your time and attention, and please let me know if I can do anything for you further. Have a great day. Cheers.